My mother often told me, she said, angels have bonded your life away. She said I would accomplish just to trust in God and pray. Well, I'm on the King's Highway and I'm trying to bear my burden away. But you know I cannot keep from...
Well, very good afternoon on the... What day is it, Annie? What day is it? Well, it's the 14th of March, 25. And I've just driven all the way from Aberfeldy. Well, I actually drove up from my village over small Glen and Glen, but when I arrived at Aberfeldy, I had a damn puncture because of these multiple potholes, I'm sure, or cat's eyes, which are raised too far above the ground. They're quite sharp, so at least I got a spare wheel on, and it was an additional cost I didn't expect to do, but it delayed me a little while as well. But a couple of days ago from the load, I was over the other side. When I walked all the way from Glen and back again, and the bitterly cold northerly wind was quite fierce, and but I really have a mystery. Let me just show you behind. That's the walls of the dam for Lyon, and the walls weren't as close as that because they didn't come that far up. What I'm talking about, and it is a terrible mystery. In fact, I can't solve it. It had to be this Glen. It was no other Glen. And I'm deeply mystified. What happened was I came up here in a July evening. There was bracken everywhere. The place was completely smothered in bracken. You can hardly see the road for bracken. You know, ferns and bracken all tumbling over. And I weaved my way through all the way up the upland stretch of Glen Lyon. It's a long glen, this one. It's beautiful. And I mean, I left Aberfeldy when about 1:15, maybe, Annie? 1:10. And that's we just arrived at 10 minutes to 3. I would have arrived at 10 minutes to if I hadn't already had that delay. But I'm really deeply puzzled. I'm totally aghast as to what's happened. Let me just explain again. When I came up on that July evening in 2021, I got as far as I could. There was a track. It's the old hydro road over to Glen, and it wasn't tarred. And I crossed a wooden bridge. I got halfway across the wooden bridge and the bloody thing started creaking and swaying with this vehicle, the Clio. And so I immediately put it in reverse and came back, and a guy came out of his house. But the house was behind me, not... I don't know if that's occupied. It looks unoccupied, that property. But no, the house was behind me. It was a white house. I'll go back down to see if I can find it. And the chap came out. He says, I heard the reversing vehicle. Well, it's so quiet up here, nobody comes up here. Well, there are walkers and stuff, of course. You can see that, there's cyclists. But on this July, I explained what I was trying to do. He says, oh, you won't get over. He says, the road's unmanageable, especially a vehicle like this. You need a 4x4. And even then, they lock the gates at the other side, so you won't get through. I said, well, thanks for telling me that, but I'm not going to tackle it. I'll look at the state of the road. And yet, I walked it, and the last part coming down has been retarred. And as you correct into the other footage, the bridge that I reached on the 12th of March had been there for years. It wasn't a wooden bridge. So I feel like I'm losing my fucking mind because I definitely came up Glen Lyon that night in July, all the way to this hamlet called Pubil, just at the other side of the telegraph poles. Let's go back down to Pubil, Andy, and we'll take another view of that bridge. I'm really concerned that I'm concerned that I've had a bloody time slip. That's what I'm concerned about. Alright, so there's that bridge that I reached when I walked that part. The road comes and joins here. And I checked out the bridge, I'd done some mutters and stuff and crossed. And the little hamlet over there is called Pubil. It's the very end of Glen Lyon. And the road over there, the single track road, so with dusty windows, goes up. It goes all the way over, about 5 or 6 miles to Glen, which I walked. I walked all the way from Glen and back, and then back again on Wednesday this week. That bridge has been there for years. You can tell with the stonework round about it and stuff. But when I crossed it that night, the road in front went up the hill straight up like that. And it was wooden bridge, wooden slats. And I crossed it, and halfway across the whole thing started shaking and quite violently. And I thought, this is it. And I started to reverse my vehicle and I came off and the chap came out of his house. That looks like the... This is really, really weird, Eddie, isn't it? You know what I'm thinking here is... Let me just turn that right, it's not on station. Back on the... Switch the car off, Eddie. Back in November 24, almost at the final night of my stay at the Athol Palace Hotel, I meant to load it, so I must put it up. But it was a weird cat. This weird cat just appeared out of the darkness. I was out having a cigaretto. And my first reaction was, oh, lovely cat's come to see me, jet black with yellow eyes. And so I ushered it into the hotel and I said to the waiter, I said, keep the cat occupied, I'm running up the stairs to my room to get my camera, I want some footage of it. And when I came back down, the waiter was bleeding heavily from his hand. And I said, you all right? And the receptionist was out and she said, why'd you bring the cat in? I said, I want to get a picture, it was a lovely cat. She said, it's a devil cat. No, she says, it's a witch cat. It's a witch cat, it's the devil cat of Athol. I says, what are you talking about? She says, oh, it's nasty. And then I said, it gets up in its hind legs. She says, of course. She says, I don't know if I got the footage of it on its hind legs. I don't think I have. But as it walked towards me, it was meowing and being all friendly. And as soon as it got within about 3 feet of me, it went up in its hind legs and walked towards me like a bloody human. And it did this as well in the reception area. I'm sure I did got footage of it. And she said, I said, well, I don't know what you mean. She says, it's a wicked cat. She says, it's a devil cat. It's the witch cat of Athol. And I stroked that cat. It didn't scratch me, but I'm getting a feeling that it bloody cursed me. I've had a lot of misfortune, but this, since that day, but this is very puzzling. It might not make any sense or enjoyment for you people watching, but I can assure you this is really jamming for my brain. I definitely crossed the River Lyon at the hamlet of Pubil on a wooden bridge, July 2021, to attempt the road over to Glen, but the road did not go up on There must have been a bridge down there, Andy. Let's go and investigate. There has to be another bridge. There has to be. Or at least the remains of another bridge or something. So there's that bridge which takes you up the road and over to Glen. And that looks like an old bridge there. I think I mentioned this a couple of days ago. But I didn't take that. This is incredible, Andy. You crossed a wooden bridge, sir. I mean, there's not been that much changes, I'm sure, in the last 3.5 years. But maybe I came down this track or something. No, I don't think so, and crossed it. I don't know. That's not what happened at all. But there's a vehicle coming down off the hill up there. 4x4, of course. But there was a cottage behind, so I'm not sure what the story is. Absolutely not sure what happened. So, but isn't it beautiful all the same? But I'm going to have that for the rest of my life. I'm never going to be able to work out what happened unless I get information from someone, you see. Absolutely amazing. There's definitely an old bridge across there at some point. I can't work out my mystery, I'm sorry, but the cottage here, I'm sure that's it there. But I'm not entirely sure. The car's parked over here. But this is definitely a mystery. I can't. I'm trying to work out if it was here. This would make sense because the cottage was right behind me. Because it came out. It was just in about here, I'm sure it was, and the track. None of it makes sense, Andy, and it's quite concerning. What it felt like to me just a little while ago is that I'd taken over this bridge. It was not. It hasn't been here for 50 years or something, and yet I drove across it. And I was quite close to the dam, but not so close like where I was when I parked up earlier. And this seems like it's too far away, so I can only assume, to be logical about it, is the bridge that I've been talking about has been done up and it had wooden slats. That's the only reasonable or rational explanation I can find, but it's definitely very puzzling. And there's no other properties around up there, so I don't know. And I remember coming, I parked up. I was trying to get to speak to somebody beforehand in some of these houses if I could take that road, and there was nobody around at all. On a summer's night, there's not a bloody soul. And the only time that chap came out is when he heard me reversing back. Well, I'll tell you what, that's a real mystery, Andy. I know it makes no interest to the viewers on this particular upload, because they think, what the hell are you talking about? Are you losing your mind? Well, sometimes I think I am, but this definitely happened. Definitely. Sometime in July 21. Probably about mid-July. Yeah, it's just sort of clicked to me looking back. I think what's happened is it is that bridge, and it's been retarred or something like that. Definitely wooden, and it was all loose. Definitely, I can't deny this. And that is the bridge. And when I've come back, the house that I thought was behind me is actually the one here, which is a little bit closer than what I thought. A bit further away than what I maybe first thought.
I can't keep from crying sometimes. Oh, my heart is full of sorrow and my eyes are full of tears, and I just cannot keep from crying.
You see that bridge there, Andy? Still in Glen, Lyon, of course. But that's the sort of bridge that I crossed with my car in July 1921. That's that there. That's the same bridge. I'm sure it is, but it's not. This is not the bridge that I crossed over on, because that goes over to a farmhouse just at the back there. But that's the same type of bridge with the kind of crissy-crossy. That looks like that's been. I don't know. That's the sort of bridge that I crossed. So there we go. I'm glad I caught my eye on this one just to see it. So here we are on the 6th day of November 24. I think it is, at least. I really don't know. It's a Wednesday. Yes, I think it's the 6th. It's 4:10. And I've been out to Crieff, Old Stew, and stopped off at the house of Brewer for a little browse about, but that's all it did. I was going to get half a dozen cashmere jumpers, but it would have sent me back about £2,000, I'm afraid, so I left that alone. But it's nice that I came in and the fire was saying, come over, Andy, and we'll have a bit of a chat. It's, I just want to sit here and take in the afternoon ambience. It's just a perfect place to sit, you know that. It's really, really delightful. So I'm not going to chat long, actually. I'm going to look at a few things on my phone and stuff like that, and just sit and gaze at the fire endlessly for the next half hour. It's a beautiful fire, it really is. We'll go back out.
And that was the local cat from the on the road.
You don't want to go out?
Watch him
Why going out?
because he's not very friendly.
Like it or lump
He's
you're going out.
he's been coming here for a year.
Hey, Pubil.
He's
She's got a little scratch now.
He's nice, whenever he goes.
Oh, did she?
Yeah.
She's, wait, I'll take her out. Come on, go out.
She needs to go out. Not just
Excuse me. Pussycat. Out.
Do you know whose it is?
He just walks around. It's from a neighbour house.
It just came across, I got out for a cigarette and it just arrived. The reason I tell you this story is because I've got this thing about black cats coming to visit me on spec.
There you go.
Come on in.
Come on.
Pussycat. Come on in. Come on in, Bobo. Hey, Bobo. You're not allowed in there. Hey. You're not allowed. They don't like you. They don't like you. Come on. Andrew will speak to you. Now, tell me the story. What's going on in your life? Eh? What's been happening? The black cat has followed me all the way to Blair Athol. Haven't you? I couldn't believe this. I came out for a cigarette and you were just along there. And you came indoors with me and all the staff were like, what the hell's this cat doing here? What I did was I had to go and get my camera. I says to the waiter guy, I says, could you keep a hold of the cat for a minute? Well, keep an eye on him. I'm going to have to get my camera. And this cat's wanting to get in the hotel. They're saying no. Pretty cat. Pretty cat, they won't let you in. Listen. They won't let you in. They said no. This is quite incredible. Come on. I'll show you where I was. I was just wandering with a cigarette, and just at the edge of the light near my car, this black cat appeared. So I shouted to it, and it came across. It was ever so friendly. So I said, come with me, I need to get a camera. And I opened the hotel doors and brought him inside. I says to the guy, go and keep an eye on the cat while I go and get my camera. And look, the cat's here for me. Can you see him? Hello, Bobo. Yeah? But they don't want him in there. They said, no, he's got to go out. And he says the cat's unfriendly. He tried to bloody rip his hand off. You tried to scratch my friend, the waiter. Did you? I didn't think you were like that, Boo-Boo. I didn't think you liked them. Yeah, because they didn't like you. Is that right? They're not going to let you in, Boo-Boo. No, they're not going to let you in. Look at his tail going. Boo-Boo, they won't let you in. You can't see him, he's just at the bottom of the door there. That's absolutely amazing, Andy. Come on. Come on, Pussycat. He's doing his wonders. I wished I had the camera the first time I encountered them. It was absolutely amazing. The cat came over, and I'm not joking, it stood on its hind legs and stood up rigid, allowing me to clap it. And it never showed any signs of any viciousness with me. The cat's gone now, it's way around there. But I said, come with me, I want to get my camera. I thought I'd to prove it, and so I took him into the inside here, into the reception area, and told that waiter guy, look after the cat, I'm going to get my camera. And when I came back down, there was a whole fuss with all the different staff members and the receptionist, and saying, no, you can't go out. And he says, he's got vicious, he just bloody ripped my thumb off. Oh well. I was really taken aback with this one. That's why I went dashing up the stairs and got right to the top. I'm right on the top floor. There's something quite special about that. That black cat that's here has got a little purple ribbon round its neck, and he's sitting there. Psst, psst. Bubba, come here. Come get him. What's all the nonsense about? Eh? What's all happening? Eh? I don't know what you're talking about. Who's been annoying you? Eh? Where are you from? Well, you've got a lot of stories for Andrew, that's for sure. Do you know the black cat from Artisig? Or Danasig, I should say. You're not the same cat, are you? I think you bloody well are. You're absolutely identical. Absolutely identical, and that's why I went and got my camera. But she's away now. Bye bye, Pussycat.
I saw it when she first left me. I would grieve for a little while. Soon it would be all over, and I'd journey on with a smile. But the thoughts as I get older, and I think of what I told her, I just cannot keep from crying sometimes. And I can't keep from crying sometimes. My heart is full of sorrow, and my eyes are filled with tears, and I just cannot Thank